Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Martyna, and today I think I want to tackle my scraps box, and I was thinking about what to film. More scraps. I was thinking about what to film today because I really wanted to do something, but I also felt like I didn't have a specific idea. I didn't know, so maybe that's not a good idea for me to turn on the camera. But I said to myself, you know what? No, let's just sit here at my desk. Let's just turn on the camera and try to do something that I feel creatively comfortable with, which is definitely playing with scraps, with paper scraps, and just doing little clusters. So I would love to invite you guys to join me to maybe grab some paper scraps or fabric scraps. I probably am going to incorporate some maybe lace or little fabric pieces to these, and let's do the old-fashioned mass making. Just make some fun clusters of scraps that we can then use to decorate our journal pages. And I definitely would like to make some for my no-sew journal. I just wanted to show you guys I added this ribbon. I just tied it around. It's not attached, but because I already decorated both sides with a lot of paper, this was like it didn't want to stay closed basically. So I have this, probably it's like a chiffon ribbon, and I just tied it, and it looks so cute. I really love this little journal, but perhaps I would like to make some clusters to then use on these pages to make the decorating quicker, and I also just have fun playing with my paper scraps. So that's a win-win situation. And like I said, no plan whatsoever. But this morning I actually had a little bit of a play with some acrylic paints, did some little swatches on different pieces of paper. And so I thought maybe, because I used similar colors on all of those, maybe this would be sort of like my color scheme for today's creative session. I also have this one with some gold, these little like brush strokes, and then I would add some more papers, of course, and probably maybe some focal points, maybe some flowers, something like that. So let's just get to it. I'm thinking maybe I could tear these into smaller pieces so they are easier for me to use. I could use these two, are nice. This is just a piece of junk mail envelope that I also did some swatching on, so perhaps I could tear this, because I don't want these clusters to be too big, so that you could use them. Oops, sorry, let me close my window. Maybe there will be a little less background noise. But yeah, don't want these clusters to be too big, because I would like to be able to decorate some ephemera pieces with them. And also, of course, this journal, this is a 4x6 format, so a cluster, let's say this size. Oh, these are actually the perfect colors, which was completely not planned, but honestly, I love it. Or I love how this green matches. So a cluster of this size on like a page could be a nice tuck spot, could be a nice decoration, something along these lines. Maybe this is also, I think, junk mail envelope, and this one I was actually using to clean off my brush, and then I did some mark making with gold. I have this is a nice long strip, so let's put this one aside for a moment and maybe we'll come back to that. And this one I also don't yet know if and how I want to tear, because I could tear the individual brush strokes, or I could tear maybe like this, so I would have all three colors. Well, we will wait and see. Okay, so we have our painty bits here to the side. Then let's go and tear some other pieces of papers, maybe more neutral, maybe, oh, but I love this. This is an actual vintage letter, and I'm trying to use my stash, even my stash of beautiful vintage papers. I did scan it, so I have it in a digital form, so I can use this because I love the handwriting, I love the paper, and I also love the green ink that the person used. And it says dearest mommy and dad, which is very precious. But let's tear it into smaller pieces, because my little no-sew journal, I think there is a lot of neutral colors, but I would also say that my accent colors would be pink and maybe green. So I'm just tearing some of those papers into smaller scraps, and we will see what we can do with them. I also have a few I should have, yeah, a few of like longer and narrower scraps. Some of them I stitched through with my sewing machine for some additional. Oh, this is nice because it's actually coffee stained. This is probably deli paper. It's coffee stained, but it also has some pink on it. Same with this. Oh, I love this one. I don't know if you guys know this type of paper, I guess, but it comes sometimes in packages, and I love it because it's like it gives a nice dimension, and I especially love to add a little bit of like gold gilding wax to accentuate, I suppose, or emphasize those tears in the paper. Oh, some more painty bits, some more book pages. Maybe some of these and this. Okay, I think perhaps we have enough. Not sure. Oh, this is so nice and crinkly. So let's see. How about I create a bit of a background for this one? Maybe this way. But then perhaps, so that this is not my focal point, I could use something on top of that. Maybe like this. And stitch, do I have, not stitch, but, excuse me, but staple. Let me try to staple all of those papers together where they are. And I was thinking that before I then go ahead and add more details, so I would first construct those clusters. Maybe I will actually use some glue. So my first step would be to construct the general clusters, just add some papers together, staple them or glue them down. Then I would like to add some details. So perhaps some splatters, we could add some white splatters, maybe some gold splatters, maybe some stamping, or what else was I thinking about? Yeah, then we would perhaps choose, oh, these look really nice together. Love those two colors. Then we would perhaps choose some, oh, I love this one. I'm sorry, I can't finish my thought. We would choose some focal points, and I'm thinking fussy cut flowers, because they just will match probably with everything that I create, because I create a lot of things with this natural theme and whatnot. Okay, so we have our two. So flowers, I would say, are safe. These, I think I will leave these for layering under my focal point. So if I come to this and I decide maybe this is a little bit too busy for a focal point, I can add a little bit of this to the base that I've built, so that it so that the focal point stands out a little bit more. Okay, I'm thinking maybe I want a bit more book pages, so I will see to that in a moment. How about maybe something like this? Or perhaps this. Oh, I love it. Okay. And I am using staples that are, I don't know if they are rose gold or brass maybe color. I think something like that, but I got them very cheap at a local craft store. So I'm sure you could find some too, and I love the texture that they add. There is something different, right? We have paper, we have paint, but we also have just something completely different, a different sort of material. Okay, these ones are too white, so I will use my distress oxide. If I had some coffee, I would probably just coffee stain them, but I don't at the moment. So let me just ink the edges, and then with what's left on my tool here, just go over the whole thing, so I get rid of the white. Alrighty, and so basically that's my first step. That's what I'm going to be doing. Oh, I wanted some more book pages, so let me grab this. Oh, this is pretty. A little bit of this. That should be nice. And I definitely want some of this letter here. Oh, I like it kind of overlapping. This is a bit of a weird shape. Do we want this, or maybe something? Okay, so that I don't lose the ones that are done, I'm just going to be putting them aside here. Maybe a little bit of music paper. something like this perhaps. How are you guys? How are you today? I am actually very good because this is, oh, I like this shape. This is one of the first really cool, like cold almost autumn days that we have had after our summer's last hooray. We did have some 30 plus Celsius degrees days, which are hopefully over for this year. So I'm actually, I feel like I can breathe, honestly. I really don't like the heat. Let's perhaps go upside down, and maybe with this one I will also ink the edges. So I hope you are doing well. Is the weather where you currently are very autumnal, or are you still sort of in this transition phase where the summer just doesn't want to give up? Let me know. This is throwing me off. This little, I don't know what to call it, this little round shape. Maybe like that. I like these colors, and perhaps a little bit of some music paper, somewhere like that. And how do I staple this one? Maybe let me add a staple here. Oops, and then this one. Okay, so perhaps 2 staples here. Maybe like this. And then this one. Do I want it here? Maybe I want something different. Or maybe a little bit of this peeking out. Just a different font, a different language, and a different paper color. And let me add a little bit of glue just here so it stays where I want it and doesn't move too much. I have been really enjoying crafting again. I feel so out of practice, like I lost my, maybe I want a little bit of this, let me use some glue stick, like I lost my, I don't know, I lost my creativity a little bit, and I am now slowly finding it back. And so it feels really good. It feels really good, and I thought maybe I could use this opportunity of this video to share some updates with you guys of what has been going on, what's going to be happening to me in near future, because this year and the next year are definitely, oh, I forgot about the piano paper, are definitely going to be a bit of a roller coaster. So this past May, me and my husband actually, we bought a house, which is very huge for us and very exciting, because we've lived in rentals until now. One rental actually. We've lived in this current apartment where we are for the past 5 years. Yes, pretty much exactly 5 years, because we moved here in September 2020. Yes. So we actually weren't going to be looking for a house. We weren't like house hunting or anything. But my husband had this one sleepless night, and he got up early before I was up, and started just looking just some random things. And so when I woke up, he was like, "So what do you think about this and that place?" And I was like, "I don't know. Let's figure it out." So we went on a little weekend trip, and oh, I love this. Let me actually maybe use another staple. And so no long after that, we put our deposit in, and we got a loan from the bank, or mortgage, right, is the correct term. So we now have mortgage, but we also will have a house. It's currently being built, so it should be ready end of March next year, but then they have about 3 months for any last minute works, whatever they need to do there. So we don't really know when exactly we would be able to move in, which isn't that great, you know, when it comes to planning the move and what we have to prepare and all of that. But that's okay. We will figure this out. So we should be moving sometime mid next year. And also, so not only weren't we planning to buy a house, but also a few weeks after we put our deposit in, and it all started like moving very fast with the house, we also found out that we were pregnant. And so and it's not completely a surprise. Like, I didn't know I would ever get pregnant or something like that, because we were actually trying for a baby, but well, it's a bit complicated because we've been trying for a while, and it just wasn't happening. And so we had this plan with our doctor for early next year. And in the meantime, I did get pregnant. So that is, to me, absolutely wonderful. To us, to both of us, we are very, very excited. However, I won't lie, there's a lot of things going on, and there will be a lot of things going on early next year for us. If we knew that we were going to get pregnant, we probably would have not, I think maybe something like this, we probably would have paused our house hunting and wouldn't want to do all of that, all of those things at the same time. But I don't know, I have this faith that everything is just happening when it's supposed to happen. That's what I keep telling myself. So I kind of feel like, you know, maybe it was supposed to all happen at once for us, and we will just manage. So so I am a bit over halfway through my pregnancy. I'm feeling really, really well. A bit of anemia, as it turns out, but nothing too bad. And I'm going to, the due date is early next year, so we will have, well, the baby is due early next year, and then about midway through next year we will be moving. So that's going to be a bit crazy for sure. And I'm just thinking, is it too large? No, let's make one that's larger. So I'm really thankful that I am now getting back to creating, because like I said, I believe maybe in my first video back, which was the journal flip through, this has always been my safe space, my calm space, my relaxing downtime, and I think I'm going to need it, you know, in the midst of everything. But I'm actually very, very, very excited about just everything. So that's what's been going on and what kind of will be going on. I'm just wondering, how do I want to, maybe don't want those words in English, but just the piece of the dictionary, maybe something somewhere here. I have quite a lot of free time now, also because I am currently on a what's the word, like a sick leave because of my pregnancy. Although I'm not sick, it's just because of the pregnancy. I can't find my words, I suppose, but I am not working at the moment, and sadly that's one of the things that have been going on that's not entirely positive. My company for which I worked, it decided not to renew my contract. So on top of everything, we also have this sort of looming anxiety of me losing my job. And again, I'm trying to see it as a blessing in disguise, because this job, it was quite toxic. I think I want maybe a little bit of inking around this music paper. It was quite toxic. They didn't treat me well. Well, they treated me actually quite unfairly. So I am choosing to see it as a blessing, because when the time comes, I will sort of have to look for a new job, and perhaps just a place where I can just do my job and just go home to be with my family. You know, is this really so much to ask for? I love this one. I suppose it is, because I haven't been lucky when it comes to my like corporate jobs. Now, do I want to attempt to use this? So I covered an actual like a photo or something like this with paint, and I'm not sure. Maybe I will tear this part out, because this is quite pretty, I think, and we'll try to layer it with different bits and pieces. So yeah, I will be pushed to find a new job, perhaps I suppose earlier than I would have otherwise. But because of how, well, bad really it was there with management, because I actually had wonderful people to work with, that wasn't a problem at all, and I miss them. I'm not sure about this color. These are too similar for me, unless I go with music paper and then just a bit of this, maybe something along these lines. So let me staple it. And let's see what else can we add to this little piece. So a lot of changes, but honestly, most of them good. And maybe it will turn out that all of them are going to be good. I guess you have to have faith. But for now, I am really enjoying my sort of time off, and just resting, just taking care of myself, of the baby, and well, as a background, I actually quite like it. This would be nice to maybe layer some things on it and maybe add a flower or something. Let me put it to the side for now. What else do I have left here? Maybe these two? Yeah, why not? I like that I have some pieces that are vertical, and then we kind of break the pattern with some more horizontal ones. Alrighty, how are we doing with time? 34 minutes of filming, because I still want to do some detail work. Let me see how many we have. So we have 1, 2, whichever way. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I do have to have 10. If I have 9, I need to make the 10th one. Yeah, so let's just tear the edges of this swatch, and I'm going to do the same as I did with the other one that I made on a junk mail envelope, which is first ink the edges and then use whatever is on my inking tool to just distress it and get rid of the stark whiteness of the paper. And let's see what we can. I actually love this piece just in and of itself. I love paint swatches. There is just something that I really enjoy about paint swatches. And this is a beautiful, like, old German font. So maybe since I have this text upside down, let's go with the right side up for this one. Okay. And then I don't think I want the swatch to be the not the focal point, but I don't think I want it to be in the middle of a cluster. So let's see what else we can do. Maybe let me just staple these so I don't have to hold on to them so much, and I can actually check some other pieces. Okay, just a little bit of glue. So perhaps we could maybe build in one way here. Or like extend it, I suppose is the word. And do I have any of this green letter paper? This one is already on the cluster. If not, I'm going to tear a small bit. And maybe have something like this. Okay, that's a bit of a more interesting shape than what I had with those beginning pieces only. Now I need some glue because this little guy is not going to stay here with just a staple. And perhaps just a tiny bit here. Okay, so this is our 10th scrap. So now let me make a little bit of a, well, let me take care of this. Okay, so I have all of my scraps laid here, and I love how they look already. Honestly, I think they are so cute. Just some smooshes with acrylic paint, I think, just add so much character. And so as for adding details, I thought I could perhaps add some stamping. Not much, because there's already a lot of like going on here. But I have this stamp set from Tim Holtz. This is called Reflections, and this one doesn't want to stick anymore, but I love this sort of font, or maybe the numbers. What do I want? Let's see. Maybe a little bit of this. Let's try this. This is like a dictionary entry or something like that. And I think I'm going to use my archival ink in coffee because it's not very dark. And I don't want dark. I just want some details now. And I put all of my scraps on a piece of brown paper so that my desk will be a little bit protected. Oh yes, look at this. Just the little bit of like stamping and text over some of the different scraps. Yes, this is what it needed. I am definitely not looking for a, and I will have some stamping on my on my brown paper here, but I am definitely not looking for like a clear stamp image, just a little bit of something. Oh yes, beautiful. And perhaps some here, and then maybe here, there. Oh yeah, definitely. And as for this one, I don't know if we would even see any stamping that I added. So let's perhaps clean the stamp by stamping it on the brown paper. So I honestly think that it doesn't need more stamping, especially not text, because there's already a lot going on. And since I still want to add my focal points, I think I will leave it at that, just a tiny bit. And now, oops, I think I am going to try to add some splatters. So for splatters, I think I would like to add some white and gold, because gold is always a great idea, and I love the look of white splatters. For white, I think I'm going to use gesso, and I will thin it down with water. Oh, this gesso is on its last legs, so we will see if this will even work. I definitely need to get a new jar. So I have some water here, and let me see if I can manage to do something with this, and if not, I will look for acrylic paint. But this should work. I just think maybe I added a little bit too much water, because I still want those splatters to be quite opaque. So let me add just a bit more and mix it up. Now I can never remember which brush I like to use for my splatters, so I guess we will test it out. I have two options here, two small brushes, but perhaps I could look for some paper and just cover this whole thing up and just test it out. Oops. This should be fine. Yeah, this should be fine for splatters. I don't want them to be too big. Okay, so let's grab, just adding small details, building up interest in the background, and some of this will definitely be covered up with our focal point, but that's okay. I think these clusters will look so nice in the No Sew journal. We will see, perhaps in the next video. Do I need more? Maybe a little bit here, because they look so pretty on the brown paper. Okay, I think that's it for the white splatters, and I even got some on this one, and they do look really nice. Okay, let me grab a baby wipe. I'm going to, or maybe I could, instead of like completely removing it with a baby wipe, maybe I have some paper where I could smoosh it a little bit. I have this book page which only has some modeling paste, or I think it's modeling paste, and a stencil, and so maybe it could use some gessoing as well. Why not? Yes, I think it will look nice. And maybe one more, maybe this one. I hope I'm in frame for this. And now I can wipe the rest off, because I also want to add some gold splatters, and for this I am going to use my Liquitex, what is it, acrylic ink, in this beautiful shiny gold color. Should have some paper towel. Okay, let's just right, let's try this. Oh, it's so pretty. It's just gorgeous. Now, do I need water with this? I don't know. Oh no, should be fine, because it's quite liquidy. Oh, I can feel the splatters going everywhere. Let me add a tiny bit of water. Mix it up well. Maybe I'm actually considering using the bigger brush for this. Much better. They are going to be quite small. I know that some people use those like fanned brushes. I should have one of those somewhere. Oh, I feel like I'm getting the ink literally everywhere, on my hand, on my shirt. But I can also see it on the scraps, which is what counts. Oh yes, I will show you guys up close in a moment. Alrighty, so let's see if I can maybe clean my brush on this book page. Clean my hands. And maybe add this gold. and some of those as well. I'm just literally cleaning this plastic as much as I can on the book page. Okay, but I'm not sure if the camera is picking it up, so let me see. Here is what these look like up close. Not sure if you guys can see the gold. These are like tiny not scraps, splatters, but I love them. So I think now I can actually remove them from this backing paper that I have, and we can see about those focal points. That was my water bottle. I am just looking, oh, for this one. So I have this box of fussy cut elements, mostly flowers, definitely, but I also have probably some birds somewhere. And so I was just thinking of maybe just adding them to those clusters like that. I'm looking for some small ones because maybe this one this way, so I don't overlap the paint swatches and cover them up. I actually have an idea for storing my paper scraps. I think I'm looking for pink. So I will share that with you guys soon in another video, because for that to happen I have to do a little bit of, how do I put it, like I have to destroy a certain item that I have to then hopefully make it better for me. I like this one here. Not sure about, okay, I love these. Not sure about this one. Do I have anything tall enough? Maybe it doesn't have to be like tall enough. Maybe this can, yeah, I think I love it. This flower is stunning. It's going to be overhanging a little bit on the top and the bottom, but I think that's fine. Oh, this box is a mess, you guys. This box is a mess, and this is only one of the places where I keep my fussy cut flowers. So because I'm not finding, I don't know, maybe I don't want to add those flowers to all of those actually, because perhaps I want to leave a little bit of like a room to add them as I create. Maybe I will find images that work best. Oh, one is hiding here. That work best with the page I am creating. So I will just have a quick look in my other pouch to see if I can find any small ones, but if not, then I think I will leave some of them without focal points. I'm looking for something quite small and thin and dainty and pink. Those are my criteria. Or maybe white. White could work as well. I think I like it here actually. Ah, yes, this definitely needs a reorganization. I need a way to be able to access those images in an easier way. How about, I forgot that I wanted to perhaps add something to this one. Maybe we will do this one in the next video, but this could be very, very cute if we find an image and then add some collage underneath it to make it stand out. How about this one? Maybe not. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to remove this to the side and then just glue down those that I have chosen and that I like where they are. And as for the rest of them, I think maybe I will actually leave them, without focal points, so that I have some opportunity to work with them and to find the perfect image whenever I want to actually use them on a page. But some of those little flowers, they just match those scraps so well. So I definitely want to put them down. This looks very pretty. So let me just put those aside. This one, I'm not so sure, because those colors are a bit more, and also all of the papers on a darker side. I think maybe I would like to find something brighter for this one. This little plant I really like. Was it on this one? Oh my goodness, I just taken it off. I think it was on this one. Well, I like it on this one in any case. This little guy. Is 10 clusters enough to call it a mass making video? What do you guys think? Is there a minimum of items that you have to make to call it a mass making? I think for me 10 is a lot, because I tend to work slower, and so to create 10 not images, but well, items in an hour or so, it's actually a lot for me. So I'm very happy with that, and I am going to probably title this video mass making, but I wonder what you guys think. Yes. Alrighty, and then I have, I think, one last idea what I would like to add to those clusters. So I have some of this very pretty peachy colored embroidery thread, and I was thinking about adding some just little details with some hand stitching, something like that. Now I am by no means an expert, but maybe we could make some little crosses. I don't know how much thread I'm going to need. So some of those, because this color I especially chose, I was also wondering about this dark brown. This would give a lot of contrast, and maybe this would actually work well with some of those where I have this darker brown. But especially for those quite pinky ones, I think this peachy color will look great, even though it's not perhaps going to be the most visible. It's a different texture again, because it is thread, it's not paper, it's not stamping, it's something 3D. So even if you maybe won't be able to see them all that well, they are there. They are adding a tiny detail. And I've been loving adding some hand stitching to my projects. I've always added machine stitching, and I still love it. But there is something about wonky hand stitching that just speaks to me. Whatever it may be. So let me make some knots. Okay, I am calling these done. And so let me show you guys up close. So I added some little crosses on some of them. I love this one. Not sure if you guys can see the gold. I hope the camera is picking it up. Some more crosses here. And then on this one, I actually added some like wonky line stitching. I just love how they turned out. I love the colors. I didn't add the stitching on all of them, just because it would take me so long, but I guess I can keep adding as I want to use them. So then I have some of those that don't have focal points yet, so I suppose they are even a bit more versatile, because I can use them however I want to, but I am definitely very excited to use them. And I am very happy about the results of this mask making session. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was as relaxing for you as it was for me. We definitely, let me actually, because I am so curious how this would look in the pages of this journal. Look at this, you guys. I think they match so perfectly because I'm using some, well, maybe not music and music, but I am using some of the same colors, some of the same papers, and this just adds, layers. And I'm actually thinking, when I come to work on the pages of this journal, I think I'm going to try to push back the backgrounds a little bit with maybe like adding some gesso, maybe adding some coffee stains, something like that, so that the background becomes more of a background, and then these little focal points will stand out even more from it. But I am very excited about this. Okay. So, thank you so much for joining me for this mask making session. Like I said, I hope it was as relaxing for you as it was for me, and I will speak to you guys very, very soon in the next video. Bye!